like to dedicate this to one of the most beautiful souls alive today, Patti Smith. And this is it's other stuff I've written plus more. And I drank such a load of Java that well, anyway, that's what I have to write on. Yeah, I write best on lots of coffee. What's the I went into space this writing with a lot of harmonica. Let's see. The other one, right? Well, this is an E. And I'm trying to make this. The last one will either the first song poems. Last one will either be a short story or a novella, depending on how much I can write. Well, my Java doesn't run out, so okay, this here. First, I will regale you with a harmonica solo. Okay, so this will be called, in its entirety, Less of a Pilgrim, More of a Thief. Or it might be, if I decide otherwise, let's say it's a working title in progress, it might be what I came up with for the short story, novella, isolated part. Deep into the unknowable frontiers concerning Occident's old as dynastic kingdoms remember. So... and this is by Paul Bedard. So. Less of a pilgrim, more of a thief. He had him 2 sons by a wife who would speak in Canadian French from so long ago. They say the high Norths know what they know about lands and homes and people's dialects troves. They would hitch and ride into town each Sabbath, alongside the daughters of memory and forgetting still. More of a pilgrim, less of a thief. He shared many things words could not. How the pauper and the king changed places when night turns to day, and so the old myths say. How Jesus would rise anew to return to us someday. How vanity and pride and paradox lock their horns when the sheep's wool shorn keeps him a single month warm. When you look both ways down a one-way street and a slant hand, take me up the mountain, face granite. Hang a lying tongue from a roof wearing Mussolini fleet-foot toes. You might find face up dying everything you know. You can save a precious, precious, precious life as she sinks the second time. Hunter ain't gonna be a devil voodoo vine. And that's just like the extreme misogyny that's somehow coming in some areas. And then there's beautiful people with great love for women and everybody, and men and children, and misogyny or misanthropology isn't anywhere in sight. So, slingshot Dave Eagle-Eyes on the prow in Technicolor madness. One lion hooks a toe. African elephants scoped around by lights with 2 began to circle. Kiss beauty, blood, good night. Anyone with any mercy is slipping to the fog before the first claw sizzles. Chainsaw clip a burning slug fest down the middle. 7 vamps from well-to-do slumber in the fiddle's leather cases. Each one is a Judas Pastoral or Orthodox barometric mercurial meltdown entertainment gorilla and a slab dying slow. I actually saw this. The poor gorilla had been stuffed with it was so horrible with pesticides, and he just lay there, and I don't know who could do something like that, but that's I was thinking of that when Patty Smith read Blake's poem about the tiger, and that's a kind of a little other than that. But it's a kind of how humans could do this to animals is beyond me. So you can save a precious life as she seeks a second time. Guitar string round her ankle, Memnazine bottle wine. When my future lady comes in from the coal, I'll wrap her shoulders in a quilt of gentle weaves. Everything new is infinitely old. The kindness, love, and truth is emerging to believe. The honest proverbs, outlaws are rolling round the bend. Return to us all indeed, to compassion's way back when. Farther from the scarlet, farther from the dove, a quarter mile outside blood-flowed town, they slide from steads of brass bone nitro, knowing for a telescope hilltop curved backlight, deputies and hound dags a mile ahead. So they all 12 black cloth riders circle round, packing top-heavy brawl. Love cursed the day that the darker self 12 took shelter tavern hotel above cooping till dawn. Then the eye of the twisting storm. Do we cut out in half or bury our brother, or leave him for the crows among curtains of thunder? Annie Oakley knew their method well. Take a hike for a signal from this hill, or you'll buy a Davies above ground locker. 'Cause Doc Holliday got you mapped and swanked. I'll be booking now on across the signal lobster tail tank. At this very time, in 1890, place cross-country plunder was sandwiched between the steam locomotive maze of thunder, jump freight riverbank hound scent cloth, drop 1 bullion in the spark plug broth. Darker crows, no wisdoms lamped above the doors, a pipe scattered stairway behind their tenement floors. Will not have a pretense to ease the suffering few, but fanning sure when the man with the Bible read beyond translation taps into a reservoir of hope and salvation. Towering low rent rises crammed with rats and roaches. At the man of Gospel John from the farm he approaches, politics of 4 and 8 legislate with seeming arbitude, The Lord whose stars watch close, wisdom teaches rise in numbered hosts, coast to coast, goodness, love, and mercy from heavens howling in Jersey. Frontier soldiers, shepherds one by one, crisscross the hoax of trickle down, come from free ride long time, as the pipeline minefield, Hoyan picked one. Never did know the dice was shaved by the Palm Brook coiners, cooked brook caves, purgatory chasm cataclysms recreated in times like this. Men and women who sifting pans way back when land was parceled. To majority, short straw, sun-linked and blink of star flame, wolfbane, shuffled breeze, be you and yours beyond the before equity, do but some indeed. I come from the caves of stained glass glow. They castle like I sculpted winds named Ivanhoes, far above the 8th plateau where angels weep, the plagues of the human soul to guide to the other side, far and wide from the welkin's cheek, circling round and round on all 4 sides. Jeremiah called for mule-trod ribbed canvas wagon into town, as the heralds of the home meal love were coming down. Everyone who had slept 17 nights full of mercy decree well fed, as old Jeremiah into dirt path town by a mule-trod wagon was led. Say, self-same moth of butterfly, why do you choose rough ground to die? Whereas crimson cry all's drawn so near the morning mist that rogue mule clear. Someday when the urn is sailed and the old dead rise from every grave, A new day for all as one who will walk so proudly and brave. For all peoples dwell as one as in all Islam, Christian, and Hebrew too. Tibetan monks among me and you. Father of mine, I need a place where the axe don't fell the wing perch tree. I know you're watching over me. I come to you to trade my blindness for the respite's chapel, curry trove kindness. And though I am a key-turned man, I was born 3 days from the Port Harbor Ram. Father of mine, you know me well. I listen to the voice of the beach from the seashell. I am. Deep into the unknown frontiers concerning Occident's oldest dynastic kingdoms remember. A possible short story or novella by Paul Arthur. There were, as well to this very and same approaching noon of days, still are, existing off the beaten path where the equatorial, middle regionus, or last of these vivid topographies, geographed by neither map nor compass, a vast and long previously impenetrable woodscape stratagem of timeless crossing paths into and out of an endless verbatim, a paradox conceived labyrinthine, mirrored avenues existing between form and matter. In a veined artery, the last of these three capillaried, translucent scape of possible solidities mid-terming physical being referred to by the outside layman guiding all but venomously its locked gates, as tripartite orbitude that necessitates with time an earth, moon, and self-orbiting sun, caprice and its chaperoning colors, as all a partisan of pretextual proverb might think there within. The knowable as well as the unknowable, through a skeletal fugue progressing into perceived etymology, enhanced as if through and by its slow awakening. As oxygenation grew thinner the higher toward its own abyss it's climbing, a pre-structural, post-industry, and postmodern world that, through no fault particular to its own, mythologizes that what seems literal, as well as conceiving to be literal that which becomes, with furtive time, a subjective proposition, supposing with this conjunctive endgame, graced by a solidified construct nearing what has, since time began, attached to its legislative proceedings, a still life proposition indecipherable by and through the reading of its wanting epistemology, and by any pair of eyes linguistically monotheistic in tonality as well as counterpoint. The succeeding chain of non-linear events at this ever-present chronicle of observatory pre-generative grammaticalities now rapidly unfolds. The gnats, these last 3 seemingly half-moon months, had grown the gnats, these last 3 seemingly half-moon months, had grown into timescape's measure, much longer than their self-fastidious passage obliged them. The seasonal rain slid back up, as might a dancing spider, into a web of ear-thinning hierarchies incubating a chessboard-like geometry of differential sky. The rural areas were thick with growing vines of fruitations and vegetables, as if they were arbitrarily obeying an unseen law of natural philosophy, climating what science long ago had, through narrowing and enabled ontology, limited more and more with time. And that's as far as writing I've got. And with this amount of coffee, MP, I hope to be writing all day and exercising.